Can Iraq really reduce the value of the US dollar? A deep dive into the central bank's strategy. The Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, has recently made headlines with its announcement that it plans to reduce the value of the US dollar within Iraq in the coming days. This statement has sparked significant debate and speculation. Can Iraq truly influence the value of the US dollar? How will this impact the Iraqi Dinar, IQD, and the economy? And what role does the controversial Delete the Zeros project play in all of this? In this article, we will break down Iraq's strategy, explore the realities of currency valuation, and analyze whether the CBI's plan is feasible. Can Iraq control the value of the US dollar? To answer this question, we need to understand how currency values are determined. The US dollar, USD, is a global reserve currency, meaning its value is influenced by a complex mix of factors such as US Federal Reserve policies, global trade balances, interest rates, investor confidence. Since Iraq does not control these factors, it cannot directly alter the value of the US dollar itself. However, what Iraq can do is manipulate the exchange rate between the Iraqi dinar and the US dollar. This means the CBI's goal is to strengthen the dinar rather than directly devalue the dollar. By strengthening the dinar, Iraq could make it appear that the US dollar is losing value in Iraq. But in reality, this would simply mean that one US dollar buys fewer Iraqi dinars than before. The Delete the Zeros project, a game changer? One of the biggest pieces of Iraq's economic strategy is the Delete the Zeros project, which has been discussed for years. The idea behind this project is to remove 3 zeros from the current dinar denominations. For example, a 1,000 IQD note would be redenominated to 1 IQD. Why would Iraq want to do this? The key motivations behind this project are making transactions easier. Carrying large stacks of currency can be inconvenient for both individuals and businesses, boosting confidence in the dinar. If done correctly, this could increase trust in the Iraqi currency and reduce dependence on the US dollar, increasing the purchasing power of the dinar. Theoretically, a stronger dinar means that goods and services become more affordable for Iraqi citizens. The challenges of removing zeros. While this idea sounds appealing, it is not a simple process. The biggest risks include inflation. If not managed properly, removing zeros could cause rapid inflation, hurting consumers. Public trust issues. If citizens fear that the move will devalue their savings, they may rush to convert their dinars into dollars, causing economic instability. Economic readiness. Iraq needs a stable banking system and economic infrastructure to ensure that this transition is smooth. If Iraq does not implement strong policies to manage this transition, it could lead to severe financial disruption rather than economic stability. The role of oil in Iraq's currency strength. Oil plays a critical role in the strength of the Iraqi dinar. Iraq's economy is heavily dependent on oil exports, meaning any change in oil prices directly impacts its currency value. If oil prices rise, Iraq earns more revenue, which can strengthen the dinar. If oil prices fall, the government may struggle to support the economy, leading to a weaker dinar. A prime example of this was in 2020, when oil prices crashed due to the global pandemic. Iraq's economy suffered, and the government had to take emergency measures to stabilize the dinar. What happens next? Key factors to watch. If you're following Iraq's economic situation closely, here are some key indicators to watch. 1. Oil prices. Since oil is Iraq's main economic driver, fluctuations in oil prices will have a direct impact on the dinar's strength. 2. Inflation rates. If inflation starts rising in Iraq, it could signal economic instability, which
the Central Bank of Iraq, plays a critical role in managing the dinar's value. If the government decides to pull excess dinars out of circulation, it will reduce inflationary pressure and potentially increase the currency's perceived value. For this plan to work, however, the central bank must carefully monitor inflation and ensure that there is enough currency to meet the public's needs without causing a shortage. It's a fine balancing act, and mismanagement of this strategy could lead to further instability. What does this mean for international investors? For those looking to invest in the Iraqi dinar, there are some important considerations. The removal of zeros doesn't automatically mean that the dinar will become stronger. However, if Iraq continues to tighten the currency supply, the currency could appreciate over time, creating opportunities for investors. But here's the risk. Iraq's political and economic situation is unpredictable, so investors need to exercise caution. Let's consider some real-world examples of countries that managed currency changes effectively. 1. Turkey. In recent years, Turkey reduced its currency supply, but the process didn't lead to an immediate rise in value. 2. Vietnam. Vietnam managed its currency supply effectively, and its currency has steadily appreciated over time. These examples show that managing the currency supply can take time and requires strong economic fundamentals to succeed. What are the risks and rewards? There are both potential benefits and risks to the removal of zeros and Iraq's currency management strategy. Benefits. A reduced supply of dinars could make the currency stronger, increased purchasing power for Iraqis, potential investment opportunities for foreign investors. Risks. Political instability could undermine the plan. Mismanagement of currency policies, uncertainty in Iraq's broader economic outlook. Final thoughts. As we've discussed, removing zeros from the Iraqi dinar may simplify transactions, but it won't change the value of the currency itself. While this change could lead to a stronger dinar in the future, there are many factors to consider. As always, staying informed and critical thinking are key when it comes to making financial decisions in volatile situations like this. Now it's your turn. What do you think about the removal of zeros from the Iraqi dinar? Does it make sense to you? Or do you think there's more to it than just a simple number change? Leave your thoughts in the comments below and let's continue the discussion. If you found this article helpful, like, share, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates on the IQD and other currency news. Thanks for reading, and I'll see you in the next video.
The IQD re-entry aligns with global moves towards sovereign-backed currency baskets. Countries are watching, investors are mobilizing, a new financial order is emerging. What the experts are saying: this is the beginning of a currency renaissance. Dr. Haytham Al-Ani, former Iraqi central bank official: we've waited 15 years for this moment. This is the real deal. Anonymous JP Morgan wealth manager: the IQD's value proposition is finally being realized. Global Forex Forum, June 2025. Action plan for IQD holders. Here's your step-by-step redemption roadmap. 1. Verify authenticity of your notes. Only post-2003 are valid. 2. Gather documentation, purchase proof, ID, certificates. 3. Contact your bank to check if they handle IQD. 4. Schedule an appointment. Don't wait. 5. Consult a financial advisor, preferably one with currency structuring experience. 6. Beware of scammers. Stay within licensed financial channels. 7. Prepare your tax strategy if redeeming a large sum. Execution, not hesitation, will determine your success. The future of the IQD. More banks will come online in the coming weeks. Public rate visibility is expected by Q3 2025. Iraq may join BRICS-backed FX settlement systems, according to emerging diplomatic reports. Regional partners like the UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Turkey are showing interest in bilateral IQD trade agreements. Conclusion: your time is now. After years of speculation, waiting, and skepticism, the Iraqi dinar redemption is real. You've followed the journey. You've heard the rumors. Now you're witnessing the outcome. This is the time to move with intelligence, urgency, and clarity. The race has begun. Don't sit on the sidelines. Final call to action: IQD holders around the globe. Verify your notes, book your appointments, consult professionals, avoid scams, execute your plan wisely. Share this article with fellow investors. Comment below with your redemption experience. Subscribe to IQD to VND News Hub for verified updates, daily insights, and exclusive briefings. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss the next stage in this global financial transformation. Would you like me to create a matching thumbnail title, YouTube description, and hashtag set for this article to maximize engagement?